Alright. Well, if it isn't Twitch chat. Kind of you to join me out here in eastern Utah in the earliest Cretaceous Cedar Mountain Formation, where we're digging for dinosaurs today. Glad you could be here. It's good to have you. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist, and this is Paleontologizing. The whole point of these broadcasts is to try and show you firsthand what it's like to dig up dinosaurs, what it's like to conduct paleontological fieldwork, what it's like to do science. So, again, I'm glad you could be here. It is a beautiful, slightly windy day, very pleasant. It's only about 103 degrees Fahrenheit right now, out here in eastern Utah, kind of near the town of Moab. And we have got some new bones down in our iguanodont quarry, and I'm excited to show those off. I've got a particularly nice one that I've been kind of waiting to dig up until we're on camera, because I wanted to kind of walk you through the process. But yeah, it's going to be a cool stream. I'm glad you're here. I'm also feeling a lot better rested than I was yesterday. I was not firing on all cylinders yesterday. We just rolled into camp. We just set things up. There's our camp over there. And, you know, first day is always a little rusty. So, kind of feeling a little bit more on top of my game today. I'm glad you could be here again. And hello to you, everybody. Well. It's good to have you. We've got 156 people watching right now. And again, it's going to be a cool stream. If anybody's got any questions at all about dinosaur paleontology in particular, because dinosaurs are what I work on, what I study, what I publish on in the scientific literature, what I talk about at least 5 days a week when I'm back in my office, or closer to 7 days a week when I'm out here in the field. Or if you've got questions about topics more broadly in vertebrate paleontology, in the history of life on Earth, in science in general, don't be shy with those questions. The whole point of these broadcasts is science outreach, you know? Trying to walk you through what it's like to do science, especially fossil science. And the reason that's possible out here in the middle of nowhere is because of this. Wonders of satellite internet. We've got satellite dish, router right there. I should put that on top of here, actually, so we get better range on that. Yeah. And then solar generator and solar panels. Yeah. And here's the quarry down here. Yeah. And Zaylor says, can I join? It's a little late for that, but there are different paleontological crews across the country and around the world that always need volunteers. So, yeah, maybe you were being facetious, but you can absolutely help dig up dinosaurs or other fossil critters. All it takes is a little bit of asking around and, you know, weathering some sometimes difficult conditions. We're trying to keep an eye on those clouds over there today. That could start kicking out some storms, so we'll have to be aware of that. But yeah, anywho. Anyway, yeah. But good stuff. Dinosaur Dave, Nerdy Chewy, Fall Machine, Jody Fish, Lenina, Crimson Carnotaurus. Welcome. It's good to have you here. And blinker fluid. I think we are running low on that Crimson Carnotaurus. Yeah. Bring some blinker fluid and maybe a radiator cap for a 1968 Volkswagen Beetle. Sure, we could use both of those things. Anyway, let's go check out the quarry here. Again, we're in the earliest Cretaceous Cedar Mountain Formation here in Utah, and I'm excited to actually do some digging on stream today. I didn't really do that yesterday. It was just kind of babysitting chat the whole time. So, here we are, and here's the crew. Once again, we've got Mammal Master Fisher McDarmid right there, aka Oreopithecus. And we've got Ethan Cowgill, who's the leader of the Central Laramidia Project in the Almond Formation of Wyoming. We've got Assistant Utah State Paleontologist Don DeBlue. And we've got Iguanodont Specialist Dr. Karen Poole here. And she's actually going to be working on this dinosaur that we're digging up. She is working on this dinosaur, rather. We'll be presenting on it at SVP this year. So we're trying to find some more diagnostic bones, some more good material, so that, you know, this can get described as a new genus or species. So we're pretty excited about that. Yeah. But yeah. How about a left-handed rock hammer, says Lenina. That'd be helpful, too. Yeah.
Turns out it's interchangeable.
Works just as well.
But it doesn't say left-handed on it, you know? If you're left-handed, you've got to tell everybody.
That's true. This.
Yeah. Oh, and what's the running shirt today, Don?
Judges run.
Nice.
2009 5K. Got a pink person having some sort of ecstatic experience.
Very nice. See, this is a nice little treat. You show up early to the stream, you get to see Don's shirt every day.
What's the running shirt? I guess I have to change them daily, or else it'd be like, that guy was wearing that.
Yeah,
Well, I do like
on.
to alternate just because
Yeah.
let them air out for a day.
That's what I do too with my shirts. You can't bring 15 shirts out here, and we don't always get to do laundry, so it's nice to let things air out. Yeah. No, did you bring 15 shirts, Karen? Is that what you said?
Oh, I said you can.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah. I probably should have, but I didn't. I don't know. I've got
I'm only here for a week, so I have a clean shirt for
Nice.
every day.
Yeah.
Not fancy like that.
Very nice. Around here with us bums, same 5 shirts. I think I brought 10 shirts, but some of them are better than others. Don't want to wear the same ones every day. What's the schedule for Jim coming out to the quarry? He should be here tomorrow. Yeah. We're excited about that.
Papa Jim.
Yeah. Oh, Papa Jim, everybody calls him. Papa Jim and Uncle Don. Yeah. But, yeah. Hunkabus says, nice shade. Thank you. That's, this is Don's handiwork here. And Ethan's got the tarpology hat today, actually.
Oh, did you have the hat on?
Yeah, nice.
Show everybody the hat.
Thank you, Ethan. Yeah. Very nice. So, Don is, of course, graduate level studies professor in tarpology. Is that what we settled on? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now he ordered hats for us that say tarpology on them, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Maybe if I could get more, we can offer them as a fundraiser.
There you go, yeah. We could auction them off or something.
Tarpology hat.
Anybody in chat like a tarpology hat? Yeah. Phil A wants to know, what's the temperature under the canopy versus outside the canopy? We could run a little experiment, I suppose. In the shade, 103.8 is what this says. I could put it outside let me try and put it outside the shade and see what it gets to. It might get destroyed, but it'll be worth it. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. But yeah, just a little warm. Yeah, could be warmer. Miss higher. Temperature could be higher, for sure. Anyway, we're here digging up some iguanodontians, and this is what I've got so far. I could have dug more around this earlier, but I wanted to save this to be able to show this live on stream. So this is what seems to be a limb bone. So we're having some discussions about what kind of limb bone earlier. It'll get more obvious as we uncover more of it here. But yeah. This is one of the articular ends, so you see this is the end of a limb bone right here. See, it looks nice and round like that. It's one of the joints. Yeah, Ethan's pretty convinced this is a humerus, which is the upper arm bone. We'll uncover more of it, and we'll see. I think he's probably right. We'll take a look. Yeah. And be aware I can't be as attentive to chat as I'm digging. But I want you to be able to see this, So, how are we going to do this? Put the encoder over here. Hopefully we can still get signal. There we go. Excellent. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. And I'll show you some of the tools that I use. Oh, thanks for putting the scale bar back, Don.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can't find a scale bar. I only have like 500.
All right. Okay. And Danny Camp, yes indeed, Miss Hire. Do you have to hike all the equipment in and out? Sheepdog, we are lucky enough where the vehicles are parked right over there. We can drive right up to the site, which is awesome. Yeah. And
easier tarpology.
definitely, yeah. Yeah, bringing all the tarp supplies over is a whole lot easier. And Guju Viper, we were talking about the Stegosaurus auction yesterday. Yeah. I guess what I'll say is this, it's not really a great precedent for, I don't know. If every member of the public sees a dinosaur skeleton and they get dollar signs in their pupils, that's not really a good thing for us. Because we're digging these things up for science, not for profit. And so there are situations where that can be made more difficult when people think that dinosaurs are big money, you know? Yeah. Yeah, anywho. I'm guessing that specimen probably will end up in a museum. I bet you it was purchased by that museum in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or whatever it was. The same one that purchased Stan. But we'll see. Could be a private buyer too. Maybe we'll never see that specimen again. Oh, and Ken is in the chat. Hello, Ken. Excited to have you out here. Ken says about the Stegosaurus, it was a private buyer who says it's going to be shown at a museum. Oh boy. So like a temporary exhibition thing in a museum? That's what I'm reading into that. That's disappointing, if that's the story. Hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin, founder and CEO of Citadel, has been revealed as the buyer of the Stegosaur. Oh boy. Well, I guess we'll see if if it's similarly cursed in the way that tyrannosaurs seem to be when they go up for auction. There was a paper about that recently. Did you see that? About like the curse of the T-Rex auction thing.
Oh.
It was, I think, like a sociologist or somebody like that. It was a tongue-in-cheek kind of title.
Okay.
I haven't read the paper yet, but the idea is like these are these weird cultural objects that misfortune seems to follow. Like it's always just much more of a headache than it's worth. When you've got...
Yeah, I haven't seen that paper. I think I might know the author that you're talking about. Is it like Donna?
I don't know actually. Yeah, somebody in chat can look it up perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, there's a woman based, I think, in the Netherlands or something who kind of studies that, like sort of the sociology of fossils.
Interesting.
And like how we ascribe value to them and commercial fossil sales and stuff like that. I can't remember her name exactly, but...
I should look into that,
Yeah.
I'll try and remember to look it up before I turn the Starlink off. Yeah. And Saurophagenax Allosauridae says, how are things going today? I'd say they're going pretty well. Here. Let me show you before I start digging in some more. We've got a bunch of different iguanodontian bones. Fisher's got one over there, it looks like. Ethan's got a potential tooth right there. Don's got a bone. You got anything over there yet, Karen?
I've got a little mystery chunk, but nothing much.
Nice, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our most photogenic bone so far, I think. Limb bone of iguanodontian dinosaur, and it's going in that direction. So I'll be removing more of this rock right here, and I was kind of saving this to show everybody because I thought it would be really cool. So, yeah. good stuff. I'm gonna start digging in there. So let's put this over here.
People from yesterday might notice we have a lot more room to work now.
Yeah, we did a bunch of overburden this morning, so there's a lot more real estate there, I guess you could say.
The buyer, he donated $16 million to the Chicago Field Museum.
Huh.
At some point.
Cool.
He said, quote, "Apex was born in America and is going to stay in America." Although we don't know what that exactly
Well, that
means.
doesn't mean publicly accessible.
It doesn't mean it's an institution, yeah.
Yeah, you would think he would say museum if it were going to a museum. I wonder if it's just going to his house.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go on display temporarily somewhere, too, it seems like.
Wow, this whole idea that dinosaur skeletons are like art objects, where they're... I don't know, it just... Yeah, I have thoughts.
Yeah, man, why not just get a replica of the one in your house?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah. Then donate it to a museum as a tax write-off or something, if you're, you know... If you're supposed to be some sort of finance genius.
Billionaires are trying to show off to other billionaires,
Yeah.
right? It's got to be a completely unique thing that no one else owns. That's what makes it.
He would loan it out to a U.S. institution.
Problem we would be unlikely to ever have. Up to your billionaire friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it was born in Laurasia.
Born in Pangea and God bless Gondwana land.
Reunite Gondwana land.
Respect the polygon.
Let's see. Oh, G-Show wanted to know, how did the other dig end in Wyoming? Did you get what you wanted, or did you have to go back and continue? That's just kind of how it goes. Is there's always more to find in a place like that. Like, the story's not over there in Wyoming. We've got a bunch more field work to do, and hopefully we'll be back out there next June if things go well. So, yeah, we're excited about that.
Doesn't blow the money on something else.
So yeah, with any luck, we'll be out there again. Some of these sites we've still got to return to get the rest of the animal. So we've got a duck-billed dinosaur and hopefully more of a ceratopsian still there. But these things take a long time to dig up. You don't really get them out in just a month sometimes. So we'll be returning with any luck. And let's see, Captain Pugwash, does the surrounding rock affect the stability of the fossil? Yes, you get different levels of good or poor preservation depending on the lithology. Here, this is pretty friable mudstone, so it's just kind of coming apart pretty easily like this. And yeah, as a result, this is a tricky site to work because it could be really easy to dig through some of this stuff, but that can also make it much easier to accidentally dig through a bone, and the bones can be kind of sneaky in here. They can be hard to spot or identify right away. It's not like it's one of these sites where the bone is a starkly different color from the surrounding matrix. So it requires a lot of patience. Got to work pretty slowly. You don't really know what you're doing. But you'll see that when I'm digging through here, you know, there's already lots of natural cracks in the rock, and so we're just kind of exploiting that. You know, these pieces just flake off like this. And if you do it right, you get them to flake around the bone. But, again, it requires patience and a keen eye and a gentle touch. And so at a spot like this, I made sure to remove all of this rock that was going like this. Rather than digging into the hill, you dig down so that you can expose what Jim would call the aerial extent of the bone. So that's the way you do it properly. And thank you for the gift subs there. I appreciate that.
Aqueous makes sense, but subaerial.
Right.
It's a little strange.
Within the atmosphere?
Under the air. Not under the water, but it's under the water.
And that cloud cover is
Aerial exposure.
really, really growing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance we could get rained out here. Maybe the clouds will just drift over and make it nice and cool. Yeah. And let's see, that one guy says, why this dig site over the Wyoming one where you were just at and actively pulling out skulls and such? That's under a totally different banner. So we're working here with the Utah Geological Survey. That's where Don and Ethan work. And this is a quarry that we've been working for years here. And that's just this time of the year, it works out that we get to work here at this quarry. Yeah, we'll be out in Wyoming again next summer, hopefully. So this is kind of a repeat of last summer where, I joined Ethan out there, and Fisher too, out there in Wyoming for the month of June. And then for mid-July to mid-August, basically, we're out here. This is kind of how it works out schedule-wise. It's not like choosing one over the other. It's just, this is how it happens to work out with everybody's schedules. And with the funding, too. Yeah. Mayhem Magpie says, does the cover protect the dig site, or do you need to cover it more closely if it rains? So at nighttime, we'll take these tarps down and we usually put them here over, just in case it rains. You're not getting rain directly onto this. It'll flow under the tarp if there's enough rain. But these are mostly just to keep us from dying, because it's too hot out here. And, like Lenina was saying, and as Don would tell you too, it provides nice even lighting as well. So if we had a, like camouflage netting or something like that out here, you'd have all this dappled light. It would be really distracting to your eyes. This is a lot nicer because it's kind of even lighting. I say that while there's a strip of sunlight coming through here between the tarps, but, in theory, that's the idea.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah. An exposed temperature check? I was just thinking the same thing, Phil. Let's take a look at that. Here we go. So, in the shade it said 103, in the sun it says 127.9. Right there on the surface of the ground. 127.9. You know what? Let's take this off too. Take off the film. Yeah. So, yeah, according to that thermometer, that's a 24-degree difference. It's pretty significant. Yeah, not going to complain about that. Yeah.
Thanks, Don.
53 degrees Celsius. Yeah, there you go. Yowza. So that's why you don't want to be taking a nap in direct sunlight on the ground. That would cook you pretty fast. Murph says you need a Simpsons sunblocker. Yeah. I'm sure some other billionaires probably working on that when they're not buying dinosaurs. Murph says boo dinosaur auctions. I mean, yeah, I have to agree. Some person of means, really wants to, make a contribution to dinosaur science. They can fund some research, fund some field work. That's a way to really, really make a positive difference. And who knows, maybe this person who bought the Stegosaurus will turn around and do that. Who knows? But, yeah. That's a way to actually make a contribution that will drive the science forward. Expose more of the bone surface here. Let's remove some of this. That almost looks like the same color as some of the bone. Be nice and careful through here.
But I mean, it was
Ooh.
here. Well, I guess it is actually just that.
Yeah. Let's see. Don, what do you make of this? Is this bone surface right here, or is this just a nodule on the surface of the bone? Okay, I can glue that back on. Yeah. That's a little irritating that it's not playing nice.
Yeah.
That just came off right there.
Knife.
That wasn't it. It just fractured along that part.
Yeah, just like, just use a regular awl. I mean, the oyster knife is just not the right tool for this stuff.
Do you need the thick glue down?
It's just, it's like using a butter knife. But anyway. Yeah, I'd glue that back on. It looks like it has a little bit of a little surface. Clean it up and get some thick glue in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I would never use that.
It's
here.
This wouldn't have made any difference at all.
So you're probably getting a little closer, but just in general.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you have some thick glue, Karen?
Yeah.
Just
you have
a
some
little
mixed
bit
up
of
in that bucket for you.
I got some.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
But a smaller point breaks things up into smaller pieces. Or
I mean, that one
like
already had a fracture underneath
Okay,
it. That was the thing.
It's starting to look awfully curved. Might be turning into a femur.
Yeah, it might be.
Huh. That'd be pretty neat.
Awfully long for... But
Unless that's the end of it right up there. We'll
yeah,
see.
probably going to be the end, but yeah, it's hard to tell. But yeah. Yeah, clean up. Probably put a little thin glue on both sides, and then after it dries, you can set it back down in there. Get it going.
Alright, so let me show you, chat, what's going on here. Yeah, this piece came up. Remember when I said that normally the rock kind of fractures around the bone? In this case, it did not. So what you're seeing, that brown splotch right there, is bone interior texture. And it's got kind of like a weird orangey concretion around it too. You see that? That's kind of what made this fracture in the way that it did. So you see the surface of it. Oops. Right there. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to glue that back on and then we'll dig around that part. Yeah. Let's get back on right there. Got some extra thick glue right here. There we are. So the extra thick glue is good for kind of fitting pieces back together that have come apart. It's still a penetrant glue, but it's not, it won't penetrate in the same way that like a super thin glue will. There we are. Spring seam here too. There we go. Nice. Is take some thinner glue and put it around this other, this part. There we go. Nice. Yeah. Okay, looking good.
I think my... Oh, never mind. No, I stole something for myself. I need to look more like thoroughly before I start using it.
Just make sure you thoroughly represent yourself.
Yeah.
And Shenanigans says, I just saw you on the recommended channel and was like, no way, how exciting. Yeah, welcome to Paleontologizing. It's good to have you here. Let me know if you've got any questions. I'm going to be a bit less talkative than I usually am on stream, so I'm concentrating on this. But yeah, if you've got any pressing questions, don't hesitate. Ooh, nice. So here, I can show you. I just lift it up. This little rock right here. I'm trying to kind of unveil the full, upper extent of this bone. So I just pulled this little piece off right there, and you can see the edge of the bone underneath. So this is looking a little bit more like a femur, but we'll see. Pull more of this stuff off. We'll see what's going on there.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely flaring there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Could still be a humerus.
Could be, yeah.
If that's the...
If this is the lateral extent of it right here.
It's almost like equal in width between both ends, if that's the end, which is kind of funky.
The curvature is starting to make me think maybe it was femur, but...
Yeah, it's looking like a femur. So the end we had at the start is the distal. No,
I was thinking that was proximal.
That could be the head, yeah. Could also be one of the condyles.
Limbs.
I don't know, I could see femoral head being up here and then...
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm
yeah. Yeah.
But it could be either way.
It's just that tough.
But yeah, it's looking more femory.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably steer clear of it for a little while and work this stuff around and let it dry out. Cause it just tend to be when you get that glue on the rock.
Oh yeah, I'm not working in that area right now.
Just
taking away some of this.
Out a little bit, at least you know that it's going over that way.
Yep. Yeah. So this is generally how field IDs work. We'll see something, we'll uncover a little bit more of it. Oh, it's starting to look a little bit more like a femur, a little bit more like a radius, a little bit more like an ulna, and then you just keep going at it until it becomes more and more obvious what it is. Sometimes you don't even figure it out until you get it back to the lab, though, and get it cleaned under laboratory conditions, move more of the rock. Sometimes you can't fully identify something in the field because it would put it in danger to remove all the rock off the top of it. We're trying to keep these things as stable as possible until we get them back to the laboratory, because this has been in the ground for close to 140 million years. As soon as you start digging it up, stuff goes wrong. Yeah. Yeah. And how brittle is this stuff? I don't want to show you a huckabus, but it's fairly brittle. Yeah. Here. Let's try to get the camera positioned properly. There we go.
I'm mostly just working around it so I can bring the shelf down and figure it out.
There we go. So we're trying to figure out how far this way the bone goes. So I'm going to be removing some of this over here. You got to start at the highest point and then dig down. So I'm going to remove some of this stuff off the top over here. You don't want like a big cliff right next to the bone. You want to be able to dig down. And Hakaba says the rock looks like very, very, very dried mud. That's exactly what it is. This is what we call mudstone. So this is the lithified remains of an ancient, maybe kind of swampy lake or pond or bog or something like that. So this is Cretaceous mud here.
I'm just kind of getting the shelf going.
Very nice.
So our shelves are gonna touch at some point for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. Here to make the shelf, not time zones.
There we go.
As long as you get a flat tooth,
Exactly. As long as you eat your vegetables. Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Alright.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's cute. And then this little fragment here. Yeah, okay. Gonna get it to stay on there. Feel okay, buddy?
this is kind of so high here, right? That's what is down there?
This is, what my hand
You
is.
give it some thickness.
Yeah. All I have so far really is just little bits. Like I got this weird thing. I don't know if you've seen this. And I got a theropod tooth down here.
And over here, I just put some flakes of
Alright. Yeah, so what we've got right here, this looks like a little bit of plant material. So we get this kind of plant that's often referred to genus Tempskia here in the quarry. So Tempskia, I'll spell it out in the chat for you. Tempskia is a almost reminds me of like a tree fern. It might be related to them, but we find bits of this stuff all over the place in this quarry. Usually it's a lot bigger than this, but this is just like a little bundle of like organic-y stuff in there. But those plants are really important because they can help tell us what this ancient ecosystem was like. You know, what kind of environment was this? You know, if you know the plants that are growing in a certain region, it gives you a good idea of the climate, how much precipitation there might be, all that good stuff. So, important. Yeah. Yeah. It must be a nightmare to play Scrabble with. Well, according to the official rules of Scrabble, you can't use proper nouns, so like if something's capitalized, you generally can't use it. So, unfortunately... What's that?
I don't think, I think three people talked at the same time and we all thought we were talking to each other.
Oh.
Don, is Jim out here the whole time once he arrives?
Yeah.
Nice. And you're taking a break
But
in...
I am pretty good at Scrabble, though. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
Not next week, but the week after.
Okay, so August?
Oh, and Lordy, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here.
Yeah, leaving on the 29th.
Okay.
Coming back on the 2nd.
Cool.
Is it cool?
So cool.
It'll be cool. Maddie might be coming out for a few days.
Oh, really? Maddie from last year?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Oh,
Good Maddie.
Dr. Maddie? Oh, BLM Maddie?
Oh, okay.
She was an art student too after all.
She was fine. She just had
Yeah,
a
she
little
was
sick.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a bad start.
I mean, it's very normal to get heat exhaustion here. I mean, it does suck. But,
And if you've never kind of once this country, you don't know how to handle it and stress and prevent that. And
The altitude too is a
Oh, yeah, the
contributing
altitude.
factor, I'm sure.
And again, there's things you can do if you're kind of aware
Mm-hmm.
in advance. But
Jim's calling us right now.
speak of the devil.
Hey, Jim. Wow, that's crazy. Oh yeah, Walmart. Yeah, maybe that was your
The sound is so relaxing. I'm glad. Jade the Jinx. Yeah, I call this. Yeah, like Sogan Bar said, Paleo ASMR.
That is,
Paleo SMR.
yeah. Come on.
Yeah, it was with the jackhammer this morning. It was quite soothing.
Yeah, it really was.
So soothing, I love it.
I like how we just got this little pebble in here too. So, oh, get out of there, fly. All right, here, and this pebble just came out of there. So, what's cool is that on occasion you can date this kind of thing. So, like this pebble might be from the underlying Morrison Formation. It might be from way earlier in time. And this is like a rock that these dinosaurs would have encountered that's much older than them. That, you know, was just here in this environment 140 million years ago. Or whatever the current estimate of this date is. Get away, fly. Fly on the lens.
You said 140, right, Danny?
Yeah, is that about right?
Yeah.
That's about right.
I thought I
right.
heard 240, but yeah.
No,
Huh?
140 is about right.
I didn't say
yeah.
240, did I?
No,
I just thought you said 240.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
I heard
just before the
140
origin of
Somewhere
you know,
around
dinosaur.
140, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got it. That's what I get for wearing earbuds while I'm having a conversation.
Oh, I just got a text from my sister saying I had to scold Danny for using the wrong tool. I forgot I was on camera.
I don't know. You work with a bunch of different crews, and like people have got different ways of doing things, and you got to respect the local customs, you know.
The Dawn tribe.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Dawn
when-
party.
When the guy's been working
Respect
for
the dog.
60 years,
Oh,
he knows
Don.
how to do what he does.
Yep. You haven't been doing this for 60 years,
Dog
Don.
just had a great view of his kneecaps.
Whose? Mine?
No, mine.
Oh, your kneecaps. That's awesome. We've got 461 people watching right now, which is pretty cool.
I watched some of the stream. 103 sounds hot. 15-year-old running shirt kind of weather. Yep.
How many relatives do you have watching right now, Don?
I might have my brother and sister.
Nice. Oh, they sound cool.
Yeah, I mean, they are my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real ones, not like you guys. They were the given family. You guys are the chosen family.
Aw.
Thanks, Dad.
Uncle Don.
Yep, Uncle Don.
Okay, there's another kneecap view for people who have.
There you go. He's got two of them too.
I got the sock tan going there, wearing the sandals so I can show off the sock tan line. Yeah. You know, they're some of the people who have been scolded by me the most in their lives.
Older or younger brother and sister?
I'm not just,
You're the oldest, okay. Like my family. Yeah.
so that's
Go pop up and look.
okay for now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any immediate danger.
Oh boy, yeah. Yeah, but we're starting to get some flappage.
oldest are the most insufferable. They think they know everything. Mainly because we do.
Manix the lemur says, late Jurassic, early Cretaceous, the golden age of dinosaurs. Not like these Johnny-come-lately, tyrannosaurs. Yeah, I suppose so.
Papa Jim would agree.
Yeah.
Looks like there's some rain.
Golden age of
around-
Paleontologizing.
Rain over by like the book cliffs. But,
Yeah, I think we're good.
I don't see any particular danger at the moment.
We might get around the time we're wrapping up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Really hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still looks pretty far off.
That's still pretty far off.
They can build up quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like we're gonna have to run yet because of the weather, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, I think.
You're like, do we do now?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not concerned yet, but the wind picked up and I thought I'd go take a peek.
And Zook, sometimes we do lose track of time out here.
Ontogeny.
It was definitely easy to do out in Wyoming, too. Where, I don't know, digging up something really cool, and hours go by and don't even really realize it.
Do you have a place you guys can just run when you're out there?
No. I mean, there's Flaming Orchard to drive.
Oh, yeah.
That was nice. I worked a whole summer there.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Geocore.
Oh, interesting.
So I was an undergrad.
Mhm.
And they just wanted to kind of survey the area because there's Green River Formation,
Well, I
there's
guess
lots
that's
of
a town,
fish
isn't it?
fossils.
Oh, not geocores, but there's a thing called
Oh,
geocore?
There's a thing called Geocore.
Like AmeriCorps,
sorry.
but for geology?
Yes, exactly.
That's actually really
it's
cool,
run by
wow.
GSA, the Geological Society of America, and they do sort of, it's in conjunction with the National Park System,
Uh-huh.
and they do sort of summer internships. So some of them are like kind of interpretive park ranger kind of things at, parks that have cool geology.
Right.
And some of them are more like actual doing field geology.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that was actually me and Joe Surdich.
Awesome, wow.
Like it was the two of us.
Yeah.
And just like we spent the summer basically walking the entire shore of Flaming Gorge Reservoir.
Uh-huh.
Because the lake was low that year and they just kind of wanted to know fossil sensitive areas.
Cool.
They told us not to collect anything, but of course we found a million things that were like, we can't leave this here.
Yeah. That's really neat.
So much of it
Shoot.
ended up in the museum in Vernal.
Uh-huh. Awesome. Is it the nearest repository?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and we were technically based out of the Forest Service
Gotcha, okay.
office. in
And their
Vernal.
office is there, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. How have I never heard of that before? Geocore. That's so neat.
Geocore, yeah,
Yeah.
It's a cool thing. So I don't know. I mean, I think of it as like a summer internship for college students. I don't know
Yeah.
if you specifically need to be a college student,
Huh.
but it is sort of an
That's who it's aimed at.
It is sort of a summer internship kind of deal.
Gotcha.
And,
Very cool.
And I don't know what the rates are these days, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a stipend with it, and usually usually like living is sort of, or like, park bunk quarters, something like
Gotcha,
that.
cool.
Usually like lodging is included
Neat.
in it. So
Well, yeah, look that up, Chad, if anybody's interested. Geocore. GEOCORPS?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Huh. Here, I'll type that in. Nice. Yeah. Thank you, Murph. Beautiful. There's a link right there through GSA. Geocore America. Well. Paid short-term geoscience opportunities in some of the most beautiful natural areas in the world. Geology, hydrology, paleontology, mapping and GIS, minerals, soils, glaciology, etc. Very cool. That's really neat. Really, really neat. Huh. BDM TV pieces are the long socks of fashion choice or a standard? I guess, I don't know, it's just a thing. Yeah, I've got tall boots, so you can't really see them, but yeah, I don't know. It's what the cool kids wear, you know? That's my answer. Yeah. And if I tried the Geiger counter on the bones? Not yet, Murph. I didn't know we'd have a big bone like this to look at today, so I'll have to bring that into the quarry tomorrow, and we'll see if our dosimeter, you know, gives us any clicks off of this. If it is radioactive at all, I kind of doubt that it is, but some stuff in the Cedar Mountain is very mildly radioactive, right?
Yeah,
Did Ramal Jones work in this
Morrison
valley?
is
or?
like really.
Yeah.
But,
Some of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff we tested from Cedar Mountain hasn't been.
Yeah.
Huh.
Luckily.
Yeah.
I've got a little dosimeter back in my tent. I should try and remember to bring it out here tomorrow, along with some of our visual aids that I forgot again today. And is this area known for radioactive samples? Not really. There's an area down the road that very much is. There were uranium mines there back in the 50s and 60s. That's what this region is kind of well known for. But that's in the Morrison Formation, so rocks lower down, a little bit older than this, from the late Jurassic period. We're in the early Cretaceous here, just after the Morrison. And, oh, I do have a clipboard, Murph. It's just back in my tent. Here, let me write a quick note so I don't forget these things.
Make sure you text it to Jim as well.
There you go, yeah. Clipboard,
I like this.
visual aids,
So he
and
went to a Smith's and they didn't have tofu.
dosimeter.
Everybody still needs tofu these days.
Cool.
He said they were looking for him and he still couldn't find him.
Oh, okay.
I know, hard to believe.
Yeah.
I thought it was
No.
I'm gonna drink some water too.
I would not think about trusting that.
well, yeah, I'm not going to get tofu.
I mean, I know it's different, but
But he went to Walmart and found it. So.
yeah, Walmart is surprisingly good.
So I decided if he's at Walmart, then we will ask for some more Doritos.
Okay. All right. More Doritos on the way.
And keep people happy.
Oh man,
Charms, Doritos, and Oreos.
that ice in there. That's beautiful. Shoot, look at that. Oh man. Those butter molds really came in handy. Yeah, so here, I don't know if you could see that, chat, but look at all that ice still in there from this morning. I was trying to figure out, like, how do I get an okay quantity of ice out here that'll last a while? How do I get it into this water bottle? And I was looking for different, like, ice cube molds, and it seems like nobody really produces like a cylindrical one that would work for my purposes, but I found other people online saying that butter molds, you know, like 4 across, like making your own sticks of butter at home, that would work for this. So I tried it out, and it works like a charm. So I'm pretty glad to have that. Yeah.
Big butter mold guy.
Big butter mold guy.
Inside jokes.
All right. More stuff for next year's wish list for the field. There you go, Jody Fish. Yeah, we'll have some more stuff for sure.
Sure. Yeah, but I haven't used it once, so feel free to use it if you like.
No, I just
Or you
would rather move it.
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks.
Oh, I'll get that over with. Goodbye, Henry.
Ooh, so we're gonna get some cloudage. And Crimson Carnotaurus says, have you formed a lot of life hacks while out on field expeditions? Yeah, I think you could say so. The butter molds thing is probably one of my latest ones. Any tips or tricks that people have learned in the field that you can apply to everyday life? Or just field work, I guess.
Best way to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah?
Peanut butter on both sides of the bread, then spread jelly on one side. The peanut butter seals out the jelly so the bread doesn't get soggy.
Oh. Did you hear that, chat? Excellent. Excellent advice from Karen.
Well, but it still, if you're packing it for lunch, it still works.
Yeah.
Do you need me to say it
Yeah.
louder?
No, that's excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's exactly the sort of thing that we're looking for here. Yeah. I've
Baby
learned,
sunscreen.
Oh
Hey.
yeah, kids' sunscreen is cheaper than like adult sunscreen. I don't know why. It works just as well. Or maybe that was just where I lived one time. I don't know, but look, if the kids' sunscreen is on sale, buy it. It works.
interesting. You'd think it'd be more expensive because
You
there's
would think,
like
right?
there's
I
less
don't-
surface area, and
I don't understand why. But it's, yeah.
kids have less money; they can't afford as much.
They can't afford as much sunscreen. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and we've got several people in chat who are very excited at your advice there. PBJ stratigraphy, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I could help some people out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
How is it different?
Everyday life involves less accident.
It's true.
I always tell people, it's like going to the office, but spending the whole day on the floor.
That's field work. That's quarrying, yeah. Yeah. And this is a pretty nice office to have, Really can't complain. This is pretty tops. Yeah. And fascinated that a place in the USA is named Moab. Yeah, it's an LDS thing, I think.
I think it comes from like the...
Yeah.
It's from the Bible, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of biblically named towns around here.
Yeah. Are people from Moab called Moabites?
Sure, why not?
Moabians.
Moab.
Moabites, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's from the Old
I grew
Testament.
up in the Phoenix area. You know what they call people from Phoenix?
Phoenicians?
Phoenicians!
Really?
Yeah.
That is so cool. Wow. Oh, man. I guess that's why you have to specify ancient Phoenicians.
Yeah.
Isn't that where the alphabet, like the alphabetic
Yeah, yeah.
system came
Yeah.
from?
From
Yeah,
the-
from the Phoenician
From
alphabet.
Phoenicia.
In Asia Minor, right? Turkey?
Mm-hmm. It's ironic because they were a seafaring people in the Mediterranean. And Phoenix is about as far from that as you can get.
Do they call people from Memphis Egyptians?
Is that what they call it, alphabet soup?
I think that's just because you put alphabet noodles in the soup.
Oh.
All right. This bone.
I
Yeah.
thought they weren't real Nishans, so they call them Phoenicians.
Phoenicians.
That'd be like a Vietnamese soup restaurant pun name, like
Pho-
pho
pho-
real or
yeah.
pho sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one with the suffix king in Oakland too, but I'm not going to say the name out loud.
Yeah,
'cause it's gonna sound bad.
That might get flagged. You,
I still need to go there. But yeah. And Moabosaurus going to be the name for this one. That already exists, Hibiscus, but there already is a Moabosaurus. Yeah, is it from the Cedar Mountain?
Yeah.
yep.
Like upper yellow cat or?
Okay, yes.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so it's from the same time as Utah raptor.
Related to
Mirasaurus. So it's like a
Ours is older, but yeah.
Turiasaur then.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Bet you asked, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just send in a closer look.
Yeah.
Steely Dan says, "What's so bad about King Pho?" That's. Think about it for a second. All right, nice. Heck yeah, man. Beautiful. I'm gonna hit this with some more glue. Here. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so it kind of flattens out here. I don't know if that looks femoral. It might be something else. That could be
We all jump
humorous.
up to come look.
I think it's still humorous.
Yeah.
Back to humorous now.
Yeah, look how flat this is right here.
Yeah, it's looking a lot more curved now.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could be the.
It could easily
just still
be bent.
femur's gonna kind of look.
I could still go either way,
Pretty short for a femur.
I mean, we don't know how far it extends in here.
but it's
Probably not very
expanding, so
far.
not too much further.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the ends.
Yeah, it could be.
I think we still have a humerus. It's just a little plastic deformation going on.
Femurous.
See, the
Yeah,
magic of field IDs here, you know. That's how it goes.
we're still not sure. Curvature was what might be seem femur even.
Yeah, but humor I curve like that too, so
Yeah, could be.
I don't know. I still can't see quite
It's
enough
either
of either end to be
thigh
sure.
bone or bicep bone,
Yep.
upper arm bone.
Nice. Yeah.
That was when that talking with the
Yeah, so this is one of the ends right here. You see how round it is?
femur, yeah.
Right there.
Thigh bone.
Upper arm bone.
And then continues along here.
Forearm bone.
I've hit it with some glue, so it makes it even more of a different color than the surrounding rock.
I guess I'm gonna go in. and see
Yeah.
if these little things are anything.
Keep going and see what it turns into. And an iguanodon. So, yeah, not iguanodon per se. So, iguanodon is a member of iguanodontia, this big family of dinosaurs that, here, the iguana colossus. So, an animal kind of like this. Yeah, it's pretty similar to iguanodon right there. Except our guy is earlier. And actually, Karen, would you say this? Would you suspect this critter looks more like Hippodraco or more like Iguana colossus? You have to say off the top of your head.
I mean, honestly, I'd say 95% of people wouldn't tell the difference between those two. So.
Well, I've got them side by side right here to show
you got
everybody.
it
So
side
yeah.
by side. Well, this is the same age as Iguana colossus, so maybe more like that. But also we think this is not either of those. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't think this is older than Iguana colossus by a little bit.
Well, that's true. I guess it's closer in age to Iguana colossus.
Okay. Cool.
There we
Yeah.
go. But
I just want to make sure I've got my
Colossus-
story straight because I've been
I mean,
I've been
they're
telling everybody it's like older than Iguana
They're
colossus.
both at the bottom of the
They're both
lower yellow cat.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
this
We're 30
this is
miles
lower.
away, but
This is lower yellow cat.
Uh-huh.
Colossus is also lower yellow cat.
But this is like lowermost yellow,
Yeah,
lower yellow
yeah,
cat,
yeah.
right?
So this is maybe a little older, but
Okay.
Hippodraco is upper yellow cat.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. So that's sort
Yeah.
of we are closer in time to Iguanocolossus.
Closer in time to this critter right here.
yeah, I'm not.
But
Yeah.
that still doesn't mean that it's more closely related. So I'm not.
Gives you an idea of the scale there next to a
Yeah.
person.
I mean, this is at the base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just over there.
Yeah. Or like that right there.
But yeah.
Yeah. So like that critter, a bit different,
But like.
but pretty
like,
similar
with-
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, honestly, real similar, but with some subtle
Yeah.
changes in the skeleton.
Yeah.
Ooh, there we go. We've been talking about goals. I want a hand with like articulated carpal bones.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
I have an iguanodon hand at home.
Yeah.
3D printed, the big Baronosaur one.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's huge.
It's so big. Iguanodon is big.
It's enormous. Like that
it's
animal
not
is.
quite as big as like
Like
later
Shantungosaurus or something?
hadrosaurs,
Yeah.
but like it is a really big animal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's fun in Bernissart, or not in Bernissart, but in Brussels, like where those specimens are mounted.
Uh huh.
You know, they're mounted in that old school like kangaroo kind of pose,
Yeah, yeah.
where they're like upright and like resting on their tails.
Uh huh.
And the way they mounted them back in the day, they can't change it now.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind- you know, without like breaking the skeletons. So they're still like that. And so to study them, I just had to be up on a ladder.
On a ladder? That's so cool.
You know, so I'm up, you know, like 2.5, 3 meters, like looking at this skull.
Isn't it all like temperature and humidity controlled in there because of the pyrite disease?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I was only allowed to be in the glass box for a certain amount of time because.
You might change the humidity or something like that.
Well, and
by
also
breathing?
for my safety because like it's
Oh.
sort of closed off.
Well, they also
So-
used like arsenic or something in order to seal the bones, didn't
Yeah, so it's like a health safety thing. Like they
Yeah.
don't want the person to be
they? Uh huh.
in the glass box for too long, and like they would leave the door open when I was in there for
Uh-huh.
like some ventilation.
Right.
So it's both for the fossils, safety, and for
Interesting.
the peoples that they don't want us in there for too long.
Uh huh.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to explain pyrite disease. If
Somebody's
people
going to
know
ask
what
about that.
is.
Yeah, but it's a if the bones are permineralized with iron pyrite, like fool's gold, then they're really temperature and humidity change sensitive. So like changes in temperature or humidity can make them expand or contract, and that can basically like blow up the bones. Not blow up like an explosion, like a fireball, but like they can come apart. We use a lot of terms like that in paleontology, like, oh yeah, it's exploded. We mean that happened over a long period of time. It came apart. But yeah. Anyway, there's Iguanodon baronosartensis right there. So that is a truly big animal. It's like, elephant-sized, I guess. Maybe a tiny bit, I don't know. We'll say Asian elephant-sized. There's another one by Gabriele Guetto. Beautiful piece of art right there. Yeah. Yeah. I assume they don't do that anymore now. Yeah, we do not use arsenic in preserving fossils anymore. Those are some of the earliest mounted dinosaur skeletons ever. Like one of the first times that dinosaur skeletons had been mounted was in Belgium back in the 1870s, I think it was.
That's about right.
Louis
yeah.
Dolo.
1870s, maybe 1880s.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, probably 1880s, because I think Hadrosaurus was the 1870s.
Yeah.
And that was the very first mounted dinosaur skeleton in the world. In New Jersey, of all places. Neverwinter says pyrite reacts with the water in human atmosphere to form sulfuric acid and sulfur dioxide. Yowza. Shoot. Yeah. And, let's see, from you, Hugin, quick question, are there any books you'd recommend before I start school? Oh, shoot. When are you going to be studying? Yeah, if you're going into paleo, definitely some books that I could recommend. I don't know, if you're trying to learn a lot about natural history in a brief span of time. There's kind of a hard to find book. I'll see if I can find it for you real quick. It's called The Bare Bones. And I forget the author's name. There it is right there. Okay, you can get it on Thrift Books for like less than $35. By Matthew Bonan, Bonnan.
Matt Bonin.
Yeah, but I definitely recommend that just as like a reference and as a kind of an introduction to vertebrate skeletons, like the different features that they share and stuff. Excellent book. And you know what? I'll give you a link right there. Copy link. There you go. Sorry it's so long. But, yeah. Good stuff. I'd recommend that. Princeton Field Guide to Dinosaurs is nice. It's a little quirky. Some of Greg Paul's, taxonomy and different names he uses and stuff is a little quirky, but it's...
Basically, if you see a dinosaur name in parentheses, that's the name.
Yeah.
That you should
That's the one that everyone refers to it with.
in that book.
Yeah.
But it's a really great book.
Yeah. I don't know, what else would you recommend, Ethan?
Ned Colbert's book, Men and Dinosaurs, is really fun for just
I've never actually read that.
history
Yeah.
of dinosaur paleo.
I
Up
think-
to about 1960.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're thinking mostly like kind of like reference or like primer on.
Oh, sure.
I don't know, but that is a good. I need to read that one.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
You can just read the whole
Which
thing.
season? But yeah, well, shoot, Karen here actually teaches human anatomy. That's how she makes her living as a paleontologist. We've talked about this before, and I don't think I've really mentioned that enough. It's like teaching at a med school, but that's what Karen does. So we were actually just talking about this last night, like, what's the percentage of working vertebrate paleontologists who do that? And it's like, it's a fair percentage. It's probably like more than 5%, I'd imagine.
Oh, probably, I think a lot higher.
Yeah?
I mean, I don't know for sure. We don't have the numbers in front of us.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, there's a lot of vertebrate paleontologists out there who are, kind of their primary job really is teaching human anatomy
To like med students,
to
right?
like med students, sometimes dental students or physician's assistants, physical therapy. I haven't taught dental students. But I've taught like PAPT courses, and I do med school now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my dentist in Park City
Yeah.
got anatomy from Guillermo Rouget.
Oh, nice, nice. So, yeah, and med students are always surprised by it, but I think they take to it pretty well.
Yep.
And yeah, and I think a lot of people entering paleo are surprised that is a viable career track. But yeah, if you look, it's not for everyone, right? It's, mostly it's cadaver based. You're gonna dissect, humans who, ideally, depending on what program you're in, chose to donate their bodies after they died.
Right. Well, they chose before they died, hopefully.
That's
yeah.
pretty much the standard these days.
Yeah.
Most schools aren't like using unclaimed bodies.
Yeah.
Victorian
Yeah.
prisoners.
But yeah, I mean,
Unclaimed.
but it is still, you know, a weird sort of thing to dissect a human body.
Yeah.
So if you're not okay with that, like, then you're not okay with it, and you probably don't want to make your living doing it.
Fair.
But if you are, right, and if, you know, and again, and it's with the consent of those people, and for the purpose of, you know, doctors being better trained in what humans look like inside.
Yep. It's important stuff.
And I think that is an admirable goal in the end. So if you're okay with that sort of track, it's a pretty employable skill set if you get good at it. And, you know, med students have sort of a different mindset from paleontologists, so I think you have to kind of learn that, and like how to, you know, what's important to medical students and how to teach them. But I think once you kind of figure that out, like, I think it's a really good career path.
Nice, thank you.
So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. No, we've talked about that before on stream, where I don't know how many times I've shown that clip with Neil Shubin from Your Inner Fish, where he's like introducing himself at the beginning of the series, and he's like, yeah, you know, I work at a medical school in Chicago, and you know, like the first day, all of the medical students are coming in, and they're all kind of nervous. They don't know what they're going to see. They don't know what they're going to feel, whatever. And they're like making conversation. They're like, so, you know, Dr. Shubin, what kind of doctor are you? Are you a cardiologist? Are you a heart surgeon? Or like, are you a, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm a fish paleontologist. And they look at each other like, I want my money back.
Yeah.
But it's an excellent way to teach anatomy, like he says, when you're talking about the history of life on Earth and common ancestry and homology. It's
we're just subaerial fish anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Subaerial fish, yeah.
We're just extremely modified fish.
Yeah.
And that viewpoint,
Some more
you know,
modified than others.
explains a lot of things. Because again, like, probably the number one broad style question I get in an anatomy lab is like, why is it like that? That doesn't make any sense.
Right. It's not supposed to make sense. It evolved from something earlier, you know? It's, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
All right, so this whole nose just sort of got loosed on, but I think these are both just little fragmenty guys.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure there's much, I mean, you know.
And GCPU says, how would you tell if a fossil was counterfeit? Well, I mean, shoot, pretty easy, because if it's not real, then it doesn't have bone texture inside. With something like this, you know, part of this actually came apart earlier, and I showed everybody the interior. It's got that same kind of like spongy texture like you see in modern bone, that trabecular interior texture. So it's got that in here. So yeah, that's kind of short and sweet answer. You look at the interior. Something that's like a plaster or resin cast is obviously not going to have that. Also, you can just tell when something is, you know, when something is actual bone.
I'm thinking that's probably just
You know.
gypsum.
Yeah.
So that stays together.
But GCPU, welcome. It's good to have you here.
I mean, this one looks like you could almost just pop it out.
Yeah.
Without a gypsum.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wasn't even trying to get any closer than this, but it just,
Yeah, eventually it just
it's drying out and it cracked.
Fisher, would you have any books you'd recommend for somebody especially interested in fossil mammals, like yourself?
See. I didn't hate Brusati's mammal book.
Okay. That's high praise coming from Fisher.
I liked Beasts Before Us, which is Elsa Pansaroli's book, but that doesn't really get into anything in the Cenozoic. So
Oh, it doesn't?
No, it starts at the Carboniferous and ends at the K-PG boundary.
Oh.
So if you're interested in the origins of mammals and their diversification in the Mesozoic specifically, that's a pretty good book.
Okay. Shoot, I started it and I'm like, I can't wait to get to the Cenozoic mammal factor, you know? Darn.
Yeah, there's the Princeton Field Guide to Prehistoric Mammals, which...
Yeah, Prothero. Yeah.
Who's also kind of controversial in his taxonomic
Although
opinions.
he's on his best behavior in that book, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There are some snide comments made
Really?
here and there, yeah.
I have that. I need to read it. Yeah. I have it as a reference. I haven't actually read it through it yet. Yeah. Yeah, okay. What do you think of beasts of Eden so far?
It's a lot less about the mammals and a lot more about the paleontologists.
Uh-huh.
So I guess if that's what people are looking for, then I'd recommend that.
Yeah.
But as you kind of said, it's also, to me, it's quite verbose.
Oh, yeah.
It's not really an easy read.
Yeah. Kind of flowery writing. In a fun way. I don't know. I like David Rains Wallace's writing style, but it's not for everybody. And you think you have the 2016 Field Guide to Dinosaurs. That might be the second edition, so that might be the... Did Greg Paul release a third edition?
That's my knowledge.
Okay. Any books you'd recommend, Karen? Oh, sorry, you're concentrating.
No, it's all right. I've been kind of thinking about it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like I have any other good racks going on the website.
Oh, that's cool, Crimson Carnotaurus. You've got the Princeton Field Guide to Ancient Animals. Cool. It's good stuff.
Or I guess I can amend that a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I guess my recommendation would be, if you're really kind of wanting to get into more academic paleontology, try reading some scientific papers.
Yeah.
I mean, like, books are great and they're fun to read. But I would, there's a lot of stuff that is open access that you can take a look at. And sometimes it's dense and it's a little hard to get into it at first, but it's good to get used to reading that, like, kind of primary science and what the scientists themselves are reporting.
I always recommend that viewers look at Wikipedia and then go to the references and find
that's a good way to start.
Yeah, it's how you can find the original scientific literature in the first place, is through those references.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like... it's like becoming you're on your way to becoming a paleontologist, I guess, if you're interested in that. That's and like reading the original scientific literature. That's the real uncut stuff.
The doctor decided you have something like you just start looking through the primary literature.
Oh yeah.
Not everyone can do that.
Not everyone can do that.
I can read that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yup. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of reading on Meniere's disease this year.
Yeah, we were actually talking about this morning, too, before we came to the quarry. As specialists in this field, sometimes we're not super up to date with, like, what are the current happenings in other fields of science. Sometimes it helps just to, like, I don't know, my brother got me a subscription to Scientific American magazine for Christmas. And it's been really nice just paging through that every month. Because there's these really nice write-ups of new findings in other fields of science. And it's kind of good to have that sort of like background knowledge that's outside of my own field. So it's nice to be able to keep up to date with that kind of thing. So I'd recommend doing that too. Scientific American's a lot better than I remember back when I used to subscribe to it in like middle school. A lot more articles seem to be written by actual like specialists in the field and that kind of thing, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, Freelancer wants to know, who is the tent wizard? That's Don DeBlue right there. Who these tarps are because of him.
The term is tarpologist.
Tarpologist, yes.
Yeah, that's an offensive way to say it.
Tent wizard's fine.
I mean, tent wizard's pretty great.
Tent wizard does sound mildly offensive.
It sounds derogatory.
It does.
I don't think that's not the proper term
I
anymore.
introduced you to my tent wizard.
You're stuck in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. And considering joining SVP, that's a great idea, Eugen. If you can afford it, yeah. It's not always...
Domesticated humans since 2020.
It's not always the most affordable organization to be part of, I suppose. I don't know what the membership fee is for...
A lot.
Yeah, although it's discounted for students, but I don't know by how much nowadays.
Student membership, I believe, is $50.
Oh,
Not bad.
fantastic. You should totally do that then, Hugan. Yeah.
I guess it's the meetings that...
The
suck up all
meeting's
money.
more
Yeah.
expensive, but just membership,
Uh-huh.
and which is, is access to the journal and,
Uh-huh.
and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure it's $50.
What is it for non-students now? Is it like 200? I'm trying to remember when I...
No, it's still only like 100 to 150, I think.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
less than I thought. Okay. Yeah.
And if we happen to have any viewers from outside the U.S.,
Yeah.
we have a different membership rate for people in. There's a really low rate for people in developing countries, and then we've recently created a separate what we call the middle HDI countries, right? So
Oh.
country
Human Development Index?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
using the UN's
Yeah.
Human Development Index
Nice.
as a measure there, and so there is a lower rate for people from those countries.
Nice.
Because the equivalencies there, right? $50
Right.
US is actually quite a lot
Oh, yeah.
in some of those cases. And so there's both a regular and a student rate from those countries. And I do not remember offhand what that is, but
Uh-huh.
it is posted on, if you go to become a member on vertpaleo.org,
Yeah.
then
Nice.
you'll see the table with all the different rates.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then if you're
Hello, chair of the membership committee.
Yeah, I was gonna
Society
say.
of Vertebrate Paleontology. Come join us.
Karen's a mover and shaker within SVP, so yeah.
Co-chair, I should say. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm stealing your thunder.
Likely event that you're actually listening to.
Yeah, in case Eric Dewar is watching the stream.
Oh, I know Eric Dewar. He
Yeah.
was a Marjorie student.
Yeah.
Academic brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
And what is the journal called? The journal is called the Journal of Vertebrate Paleontology. TANCON, that's, JVP for short. And SVP, the Society of Vertebrate Paleontology, is the name of the organization. It's also kind of our shorthand for the meeting. We say, I'm going to SVP. That means I'm going to the Society of Vertebrate Paleontology meeting. It happens every year. And this year it's going to be in Minneapolis. So I'm excited about that. I'll be hopefully presenting 2 different pieces of work there. We'll see. Oh, I'm a co-author on Fisher's abstract too. We're presenting on some stuff from the Almond Formation, some fossil fishes, and yeah. Luckily, SVP is not the same weekend as TwitchCon this year, so I don't have to choose. I can go to both. I'll probably be going to TwitchCon. We'll see. Not totally sure, but I will be going to SVP.
Very cool. Yeah, like,
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice little chunker by itself. Yeah.
And then I think I got something new.
Any discount for chat, Neverwinter? If you're a student, you can get the student rate. It's less than the price of two months of Tier 3 subscription,
Most of my shop's about an inch above.
which is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Subscription to Paleontologizing, I mean. Yeah. And will SVP let you stream? I'm not going to stream SVP, no. It's not that kind of a thing. There's a lot of unpublished research there. People didn't agree to be on camera. No, that's not something I'm going to stream. So I'll be taking probably a week off of streaming to be able to go to SVP. But I will be presenting on, hopefully, I'll be presenting on my streams at SVP. So one of my abstracts is about streaming paleontology. How do you stream live from the field? How can you use that to raise money for field work? How can you do good paleontological outreach on a live streaming platform? Because there is definitely room for more of that with other vertebrate paleontologists, and I'd really like to encourage other people, if they think that they'd enjoy doing that, if they think they'd be good at it, try streaming on Twitch or maybe on another platform. It's a great way to reach people and to show them how we actually do our work. There's an old saying, it's kind of corny, but it goes something like tell me something and I'll forget it, show me and I might remember, but involve me and I learn. And to me, I like to think that live streaming helps people learn. You know, you feel like you're involved because you are involved. People are chatting in and asking questions, and doing my best to answer them. And it's the best way that I know for how to involve people remotely like this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Chan rested and ready.
Yeah.
So, to wrap, you just want to wrap that in TP and then and then duct tape or masking tape? Yeah.
Finding some of our supplies here.
Yeah.
I knew we had a...
Let me take a look at those clouds
Oh, yeah,
too.
it's up there.
You need the TP? I got it here.
Yep. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, it's a ways off.
I don't think it's going to do anything before.
Ethan, you have thin glue?
Okay.
It's only got half an hour until 5.
Here's a little bit. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind working a little bit later today, but
Just dilute
especially if
it.
it's gonna be cloudy like this.
It's not. I think it's the one, mine's probably a little thinner than yours. Okay. So, yeah, feel free to dilute it or squeeze it.
Yeah, and especially with how cool it is right now. Holy cow. Look, it's gone down to balmy 102 degrees.
It doesn't feel like 102 out here.
No?
This is nice.
It could be, I mean, it's sitting on the ground,
Yeah,
so that might be part of it.
Here, yeah, here.
If it's got a magnet on the back, if we can get it to stick
Let
to...
me just like hold it up in the air for a bit.
Yeah. Watch the humidity go up, because it's like... it's near a human body. Oh, down to 101.8? It's already dropping.
Yeah, now it's up in the breeze and off the hot rocks.
Yeah. Oh, 101.3, it's going up.
Pretty warm.
I mean, the high temperature for this area today was only supposed to be about 98 or 99.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but again, you said it on the hot rocks.
Oh, 100.9, yeah, it's
Yeah,
dropping.
it's dropping.
Yeah. Now it's back up to 101. I kind of wonder whether these kind of cheapo thermometers like this, whether their accuracy drops the higher the temperature goes.
They're meant
Just because
they're meant for room temperature.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if that were
We're
the case.
outside their range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when I looked at the weather thing, because there's a weather service on here, and it said 102 when that said 103. So
Yeah.
that said it for Moab though, which Moab might be a little bit hotter than us
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100.8, back up to 101. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder.
Yeah.
That's about the best I can do for determining temperature out here
I
is
mean,
using this. So I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. But yeah, it's just mostly supposed to be a fun little thing too.
We only got one more day before we have to get rid of that.
Yeah, shoot, when
What?
Jim Kirkland is here,
Oh, he doesn't want to.
we're not going to be allowed to have a thermometer in the quarry.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just like, I don't know. Feels nice now.
Oh, and Jim's in chat. Hey Jim, how you doing? Welcome.
Quantum physics.
Paleo Jim says, tell Fisher got the DI. The DI.
Doritos? Doritos were requested. Maybe.
Doritos?
I didn't request Doritos.
No?
DI.
Got the DI.
Deseret Industries.
DI, yeah.
Um,
The DI?
the opposite of
Jim Johnson
Idaho?
Chat. He said, "Tell Fisher I got the
Jim
DI."
purchased a DI.
Oh, Doritos.
I was right.
Yeah,
I can
thank you,
interpret
Jim.
Jim's speech.
All right. Fisher, you want to say thank you to Jim?
Thanks, Jim.
Nice. No, we much appreciated. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. So everybody, that is, of course, Utah State paleontologist Jim Kirkland in the chat.
Papa Jim.
And he'll be here tomorrow. So we're pretty excited about that.
We don't waste all this time searching for
Yeah.
Searching for tofu. Thanks for
Yeah.
getting tofu, Jim.
Oh, Doritos emotes in the chat? I think that's a standard Twitch emote, isn't it?
If it's not, it needs to be.
Yeah, I think it is. Oh, and Feline Fancy. Hey, thank you for the for the raid. Love your magazine, by the way. No, that's Cat Fancy? I don't know. Oh, and tofu, too. Did you get tofu, Jim?
Okay.
Yes! Alright.
That is a lot more than
Excellent.
this.
Yeah, currently, we vegetarians actually outnumber the meat eaters in the quarry right now. I guess when Jim joins us, it'll be even again. But we've got 3 vegetarians here. And only 2 carnivores. And Zalak says, "Good afternoon. How goes the diggy diggy hole?" I'd say it goes pretty well.
We're digging it. But,
Yeah. There's a lot of talkie though. Sorry.
I'd like to see more.
Zlalok? 7LA LOC. That might be. Is that? No. He had a different username. It was like something island something.
Cool Island.
Yeah. Cool Island. What a great name. Yeah. Jim says 2 stores to find. Thank you, Jim, for going to 2 stores for us vegetarians. We appreciate it.
2 stores are us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he did something to contribute to being out here, since we've done virtually nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jim. We hope we didn't put you out too much.
Yeah. And who are the carnivores? That's Don and Ethan.
We
Yeah.
were happy to eat vegetarian.
We don't want to be eaten. You're happy to eat vegetarians?
Not me.
No, yeah.
Pasta night?
Especially if someone else is pasta.
Don's like, I've had intestinal parasites before, and they're not a big deal.
I got those most likely from vegetables. But
Oh, okay. Yeah. And DJ Tyrannosaurus Flex says, anything cool recently? Yeah, we've got a few bones.
Pasta?
Yeah, this is kind of our most
I was thinking maybe a Mexican or something.
photogenic right now. So this
We got a lot of
Rice and
could still be a humerus, but this is from an iguanodontian dinosaur right here. There was just this much of it exposed this morning.
Well, I
So
don't know if we just.
been exposing more and more of it, trying to expose the full aerial extent, as Jim would say, before we actually put a cap on it.
Just mash up
Oh, and then this little jacket was from this morning too, just a little
I see.
kind of crummy bone at the surface
No, I'm happy.
that
Probably all fruit.
could still be something interesting. So just did a little gypsona half jacket, and we'll get that collected after we get it mapped. But yeah, it's cool. Day 2, and we've already got bones here. This is exciting. It is going well, gotta say. Let's get the camera readjusted.
Maybe I'll.
There we go.
We'll see if we can vlog it tonight.
Yeah.
Like while other.
Yeah, I
things
was gonna
are
maybe
going
just
on.
tip it over and like.
What is the least interesting thing you've dug up? Probably this little fleck of rock right
So you
there.
just want this wrapped in like dry TP, or do you
Yeah.
want it
Yeah,
down?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just wrap it.
Anyway,
Find
keep
that
working.
first before
Find some more of this thing.
have to-
I'd like to be able to show you the end of it before the end of today's stream. So we shall see. And world-class site it is indeed, Jim. Pretty happy to be here. A brand new dinosaur to dig up.
If only we could get some world-class company, it would be really great.
Oh. Well, that's okay. Jim will be here tomorrow.
Kidding.
And when's the last time that rock saw the light of day? Well, it was mud 140 million years ago. So I guess 140 million years ago. So, you know, a while ago. A few years back. Oh, we got a little pebble in there, too. Attached to the rock. So,
Some of that masking tape when it gets old.
I checked. It
might
feels
be warm enough to
kind of
have it
sticky.
off.
Yeah.
When it gets
No, I
dry,
peeled-
it wants
I
to-
peeled a little off and it felt sticky. So. But
What-
yeah, there were some new rolls.
what age were the little church that we had in here? Were they Mesozoic
I
or
think they're
earlier?
Paleozoic, right?
Probably mostly Paleozoic.
Mostly Paleozoic. Shoot. So this little pebble in here is going to be at least 250 million years old.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a good deal older. So these were little pebbles that were kicking around when these dinosaurs were walking around here. And so the pebbles they would have been trotting on were from 100 million years before them.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Looks like there's a
And
This doesn't like.
let's see here.
Don't.
Foxyful says, hello, I absolutely love dinosaurs and other prehistoric life along with their fossils. Never had the opportunity to see a dig in real time before. This is so incredible. Very glad to have found this channel. Hope everyone is doing well. Well, thank you, Foxyful, for saying that. And it's good to have you here. Let me know if you've got any questions. Yeah. Oh, and from the Carboniferous. Holy cow. So that pebble is probably like 300 million years old.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's just bonus still down there, huh?
Cool. It makes me wonder if dinosaurs ever collected fossils. Those few dinosaurs that may have used gastroliths, stomach stones. I wonder how many of those may have been like, you know, trilobite fossils or something. Over the entire age of dinosaurs, over like 170 million years, there had to have been at least a few times where a dinosaur would have ingested a fossil from before then. Have we got evidence of gastroliths in any ornithischians?
Yes.
Huh.
There's a species of a kind of a small ornithopod from South America called sorry, give me a minute. Gasparinisaura.
Oh yeah, from Argentina.
From Argentina, yeah. And
it's coeval with Giganotosaurus, I think, right?
Yeah. And there are some specimens of Gasparinisaura, and it's like this cute little thing. It's like curled up, you know, and it's like the whole skeleton's like this big. But there's like this like distinct little pile of stones, right where the stomach should be.
Very cool.
In a couple different specimens, so it's pretty convincing that it's not like random pebbles that floated in after death. You know, it's sort of a repeated pattern. So pretty confident about that.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Wow.
So in the Mustn't Touch It, I found what's almost certainly a gastrolith because there's like no pebbles or rocks in that stuff. But it's a piece of Morrison bone that was ingested by a Cretaceous dinosaur.
Holy cow!
Holy cow! There it is.
Gastrolith, but it's dinosaur.
That is awesome. Jeez. Is this at NHMU?
It should be probably.
That is really neat.
Yeah.
That's something I'd love to do like a standalone video on or something. If that's awesome, Don. Shoot. So that means that there was a
gastrolith out here. I mean, anything that's small and polished, people are like, oh, that's a gastrolith.
yeah.
Could be, but unless you actually find it in the ribcage of a dinosaur.
Yeah. Unless it actually seems like it matches up with gastroliths that we see today from like ostriches or something. There's a very distinctive like wear pattern that forms on them. Yeah.
Hylogastroliths for sale.
But yeah, so gastroliths are stones that animals would swallow in order to help with digestion, or occasionally they'd be used for ballast if it's an aquatic animal. Helps weigh them down in the water so they don't immediately float to the surface with their air-filled lungs. That's really cool. So a Cedar Mountain Formation dinosaur ingested a piece of fossilized bone from some sort of dinosaur from millions of years before it as a gastrolith, apparently. I want to track this down, Don. That's really cool. Yeah. Yeah. And Nerduino, how are you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. Yeah. And let's see. How much age difference is there like an inch or layer. So with this, it's kind of hard to say. This is from like a swampy environment, so I don't know. There's certain areas like in the, what is it, in the Green River Formation, they've got the varves, I want to say.
Yeah.
Where it's like each one it represents a year. And they've got that pretty well nailed down. Here, this is not like that. This is like really swampy kind of.
We pretty much assume these are all contemporaneous.
Yeah.
animals.
So these animals probably all lived at the same time. There was probably just, you probably get seasonal flooding events, and like every
Seasonal or
100,000 years, something like that, you get like a bunch of sediment deposited in an area. I don't know. We can't say that like 1 inch here corresponds to 10 years or anything. It's not. We don't have that kind of a handle on this. It's probably much more stochastic. It's like, you know, years or decades or centuries with no deposition, and then just you get a bunch of it all at once. That's my guess. I don't know. Good to talk to Jim about this.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and Latex Behemoth says hello. Hello to you too. Welcome. Yeah. I wasn't sure if there was an identifiable ash layer or anything. So, great question. I don't know what the nearest date that we have is for these age rocks here.
Yeah, we don't really have any good fossils or anything.
Yeah.
They do detrital zircon.
Right.
That's why it's been so difficult to pin down the age of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't any good ashes.
Yeah, if Jim
Get
is
up in the Mancos there's ashes. I mean, we're
all over the place.
we're
Yeah.
within tens of thousands of years of the actual date.
And then you can correspond that with the correlate it with the ammonites there too, right? So
Yeah, and then some of the ashes also go out for like ash layers that go out for like hundreds or thousands of miles
right.
out into the ocean with all the exact same event.
Pretty
A
cool.
ton of ash.
And let's see. Oh, Jim says a few hundred meters north, explore the clean Ruby Ranch Badlands, find gastroliths lying on mudstone. Interesting. Huh. I know, I'm always a little bit leery talking about gastroliths because that used to be a really popular idea for sauropods, that they all had gastroliths, and now I think that idea has really fallen out of favor recently. We're talking with Oliver Wings about this back in like 2013 maybe, and he was very much against the idea. He's like, I don't think those are gastroliths that you're finding inside of sauropod rib cages or near sauropod rib cages or anything like that. So yeah, as far as sauropods go, I think that idea has really kind of fallen out of favor, but I do know that we've got like pretty solid evidence of gastroliths in other groups of dinosaurs. Theropods and apparently ornithopods too. Yeah, we've got dinosaurs like Caudipteryx from the Ischian Formation. Yeah, just like they're within the rib cage, beautifully preserved specimen. It's got feathers and everything, and then just all of these polished stones right there in the gut. What else could that be? It's got to be gastroliths. Yeah. And no gizzard in sauropods. That makes a lot of sense, Jim. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. And stomach stones in Cedarsaurus. Interesting. We'll have to talk about that when we get here, Jim. I'm intrigued. Alright, I'm gonna need to clear away more of this surrounding rock in order to loosen up some of the stuff on here. So,
I'm hardening.
I got an old brush to get water.
Oh no.
Alright, so I've still got rock up here at this end of the limb bone, and this is proving to be really tricky. So what I'm going to need to do, rather than like digging laterally into this, you know, this raised part, into this cliff here, I want to go over here and kind of dig down. You always want to dig down whenever you can. Yeah, dig down rather than sideways. So that's what I'm going to do here. Clearing away some more of this rock.
Don, do you mind using those magnifiers and just confirming that's planky stuff
Yeah.
for me? I wonder if it's planky.
I've got a hand lens too if anybody wants to borrow it.
Oh, thanks. The 2-eyed version. 2-eyed is better than one.
Binocular and you can use
Yeah.
your hands.
Okay.
So you're using the station in the lab.
Why not use it in the field? Yeah.
In the past, we used to put the wood hands on it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just optimize.
There have been no fossils of any dinosaur or prehistoric animal ever found in Kentucky? That's not true. You've got Big Bone Lick in Kentucky, which is like a really famous fossil site with is it mastodon?
Mastodons? Yeah, mastodons.
Yeah. I don't think there are any Mesozoic
Yeah, maybe no
fossils,
dinosaurs.
maybe.
Maybe no dinosaurs, but there's lots of fossils in Kentucky.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
there's a lot of like older Paleozoic stuff. You want brachiopods and
There's
that
some
kind
really
of stuff.
good.
There's stuff like that.
Some of
Yeah.
the world, some of the like, there's extraordinary amounts of Paleozoic invertebrates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Mhm.
incredible Ordovician.
It's right near.
fossils.
Is that near Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Glenn talking about that.
Maysville, Kentucky has really excellent Ordovician fossils.
Nice. Okay. So there you go. Yeah, don't despair. You've got plenty of cool fossils in Kentucky, just not any dinosaurs yet.
Yeah.
There's probably not a lot of exposed rock from the age of dinosaurs there, but you know, you get that in other places where you wouldn't expect it, like Arkansas with Arkansaurus. We were talking about that earlier today before we started streaming. Yeah. But yeah. And a great Mississippian site with huge scary teeth, says Jim. That sounds neat. From the Mississippian. I wonder if those are big,
Big fish.
like,
Sarcopterygian.
Hyneria-style Sarcopterygian fishes or something. Is Hyneria Sarcopterygian?
Yes.
Okay. Although, no, that's from the Devonian, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm pretty sure it's from the same formation as Hynerpeton.
Yeah. Which is Devonian, right? Yeah. So, yes, this guy would be after that. And you have fish, yeah. And mammoths, what is the minimum time you would say it takes a fossil to form? I don't know. It's kind of a squishy boundary between what we call fossils and what we call subfossils. So subfossils are often things found in caves and stuff that are... They've been kind of shielded from the elements, protected from just falling apart. But they're not really, like, permineralized. So they're not fossilized in, like, a strict sense of the word. So, like, the stuff from La Brea, I think all that Rancho La Brea stuff, I think those are mostly subfossils, because they haven't actually been permineralized. The stuff that you were digging in Madagascar, were those subfossils? Yeah.
Somewhere, maybe only 400 or 500 years old.
Oh, shoot, okay. Yeah, so that's really
I
recent.
think it's kind of around 10,000 years, and they make kind of an arbitrary
Yeah.
subfossil versus.
But we've got stuff from right near where I grew up in Contra Costa County in California. Things from inside of caves that I think they're like 20,000 years old. There's like a bear, a raccoon, and a coyote skull that I think are thought to be around 20,000 years old, and they're not fossilized.
Right.
So those would be
and I guess there's
subfossils. See, it's
you
an
call it
arbitrary
versus
thing.
whether something's permineralized or still kind of modern bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, so I don't know, about 10,000 years for a fossil, something like that. But you know,
Let's see.
it's not like it happens overnight at the 10,000 year mark. It's, you know, it's just kind of a general rule. There will be exceptions to that.
Pulled from over there, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
might have
There's one more bin up there.
Yeah.
I'll just grab
when
it.
we did the thing.
And does New York have any dinosaur fossils? I think they do, but I think they're all footprints. Places like the Connecticut River Valley are really well known for fossil footprints.
Yeah, they've got a fossil or two from Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
mostly footprints.
Yeah, Massachusetts has Mignon Talbot worked on those critters. It was like Ankylosaurus and Podokesaurus, I think, are from Massachusetts.
Yeah, I think Podokesaurus is like the Massachusetts dinosaur.
Yeah, the state dinosaur now. Yeah, which it probably should have been Ankylosaurus, but I don't know. I have opinions on these things. I think our state dinosaur in California should have been Aletapelta and not
Oh, yeah.
She was the one.
Saurolophus, aka Augustinolophus, but you know, I think it was a group of fourth graders that pretty much decided that. And Jim says some Cretaceous dinosaurs are completely unmineralized. Interesting. Are you talking about like the Judah stuff, like Mary Schweitzer's Brachylophosaur and that kind of thing?
Stuff.
Is some of that unmineralized?
I believe so.
Really? So it's just the original hydroxyapatite there?
I think Jim has said that. I'm not sure.
Oh, interesting. Cool. Well, hopefully Jim can talk about this in
It
person.
wouldn't be too surprising. It's just like
Yeah, like under the right stable conditions, it's
Yeah.
like with extreme dryness like that.
it's white, not like filled with sediment.
Makes sense. Yeah. And there's a prosauropod bone bed under a shopping mall in Connecticut.
Thank goodness.
Dig up that shopping mall. What are we waiting for?
They still have shopping malls?
Yeah.
Probably a strip mall.
Probably, yeah.
Probably actually a strip mall.
Most of those shopping malls are
Little theropod tooth.
we kill off
Ooh.
It's still going together, so.
Oh, yeah.
Hold it from the bottom. Man.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
Just so eager to grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we'll want to glue this really well. Shoot. Look at that. Lovely. So Ethan's got a theropod tooth that he found here from a meat-eating dinosaur. Check that out. There's the end, the pointy end up at the top. Very cool. Wow. Neat. I wonder who that would be from.
Maybe a little dromaeosaur.
Huh.
I don't know.
It could be from a raptor dinosaur, like Yurgavuchia. Yeah, very cool.
Slavic dinosaur.
And serrations, I think we don't have enough of it exposed to really... Can you see any serrations on there?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not going to be a croc tooth there, Alexander Morrison. Sorry to disappoint you. Yeah. And Yurgavuchia, let me spell that out for you.
I wonder why you're not this place is filled with turtles.
Right?
There you go. Yeah.
It was kind of wild. Where are the turtles?
Yurgavuchia. No, that's a V instead of a B. Yeah. Thank you, Lenina, for posting that. Yeah, is that Ute language? What was that?
Yeah.
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 So, Ute language for coyote. Yeah, let me get some more water too. Mike says, say hi to the excavation team for us, please, Danny. We're also grateful that you're back. Well, hello, crew.
We're glad we're back too, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's really good to be here. It's really cool to have you watching. Yeah. Can't complain. Little dinosaurs. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I guess, don't you?
Ontogeny.
And I don't think there's actually too much delay here, Dr. Hubs. I think it's pretty low latency. Not just the internet, but also hopefully my reaction to chat. Oh, I can't guarantee that. I'm concentrating here. I can't reply to chat very quickly.
Some of that thick stuff on here.
Function has been.
And Freaky Feline says, can we see a bit better where you're digging? Yeah, you bet. Sorry, I normally have the camera pointed down a little bit. But right here, we've got a limb bone, presumably of our iguanodont dinosaur here. So yeah, I'll point the camera down so you can see. Hopefully that's a bit better. Let me look here and see what that looks like. There we go. Yeah, excellent. Bless him. Yeah. Jim says the mighty Donodon. If you name a tooth taxon from the Cedar Mountain, Don finds it, call it Donodon.
Well, that's what we nicknamed.
Close to Dolodon.
Iguanodontian was nicknamed Donodon.
Was it really?
It was a good name for it.
And did you find Iguanocolossus? Nice. Did anybody call you Iguanodon afterward?
Yeah.
Okay. Judging by your reaction, I will not call you that now.
That's okay.
Don Iguani. And Miss Yvette, I don't think we have any evidence of nest parasitism in dinosaurs. That's what you're asking? There was an old idea that Troodon was doing that.
Dromaeosaur in Mongolia. I think it's a dromaeosaur
it's
skull in an overwrapped nest, right?
Yeah, but that's thought to maybe be like a prey item. Like the young being fed the... Although it could be nest parasitism.
I remember being like an articulated skull.
Yeah. Of potentially like
Byronosaurus or something like that.
What's that?
I think they said it was Byronosaurus. Or...
Byronosaurus is a troodontid, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's that guy.
Huh.
Is it a
Interesting.
Mongolian troodontid?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's from the Namek, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah,
Could be Dejecta.
I think that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
But who knows if that's what it actually is.
I've always heard it interpreted as just like a prey item being fed to the baby Oviraptorosaurus, but who knows? Yeah.
Alright.
I think it's 5.
What's that?
I think it's 5.
It is. It is 5:02.
Okay.
I think our buckets are full.
My body was always like, I think it's time.
Yeah.
Ontogeny.
Hear that steam whistle go off?
I'm gonna throw some.
The factory whistle?
Oh,
Oh, that's water.
No! Sorry.
it's alright.
We'll just dump it.
Oh, you're making a jacket right now. I
Oh,
did
he
not
did.
see
He
that.
did a gypsona.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Oh, it's already made, so.
Yeah, it's already made, so
Cool.
we'll just dump this whole thing.
Well, we can just leave it for a wait.
Well, but I don't want the rocks to get wet and then like
And then we'll have mud.
stuck in. Yeah, then we'll
And that
have.
would be horrible.
Yes, exactly. Who wants mud?
Reconstituting the mud. And then the dinosaurs
see.
will come to life.
And we got a question about iguanodonts versus hadrosaurs. I'm gonna ask Karen about that. Yeah, she works on these critters. I could answer the question for you, but we've got a world authority on iguanodontians right here in the quarry. So why don't we ask Karen? Yeah. So the question was, like, what is an iguanodont? Is Maiasaura an iguanodont? Which,
So, in the broad,
Sort of.
in the broad sense, phylogenetically speaking, yes.
Yeah.
In the same way that we are fish.
Yeah.
All right. So if we kind of look at our cladogram that I'll do badly with my hands, right?
I've got one in, I think, over in my
Yeah,
tent, but I need to bring it tomorrow. Yeah.
It's fine. I think I can do it well enough. Basically, hadrosaurs are a subgroup.
Hadrosaurs are the duck-billed dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are like Maiasaura, right?
Yeah.
Those are a subgroup within Iguanodontia, which is a larger group.
Yeah.
So sort of like dolphins are a type of whale.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Hadrosaurs are
Yeah.
a type of Iguanodontian. But there's a cool thing. I mean, I don't know if you want me to get into like
Sure, if you want to.
differences between them.
Yeah.
But there's two kind of cool trends that go on as we're kind of shifting from classic iguanodontians like Iguanodon
Yeah.
up into hadrosaurs. And so one thing is that they were kind of changing how they chewed. So there's a lot of changes in the teeth. And so iguanodontian teeth are kind of each individual tooth is a little bit wider. Like if we were looking at it in the jaw like this, the teeth are kind of bigger, and they're not using as many at a time because dinosaurs are not mammals, and they do not only have two sets of teeth. They're
Right.
growing,
Ever
and,
replacing, like sharks.
yep.
Yeah.
I mean, basically everything, all tetrapods
Everything except for mammals.
except for mammals do
Yeah.
that, right?
We talked about this a little bit before I came out here. This is on one of my streams. We talked about
Okay.
sauropsids versus synapsids and their teeth replacement and stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And why we really have to brush our teeth and worry about them because
Yeah.
these are the only teeth I'm ever gonna have the rest of my life. Dinosaurs had no such problem, but there's like even a change from iguanodontians to hadrosaurs where iguanodontians have like one
And they're pretty
set of
chonky,
teeth.
yeah.
They're chonky teeth,
Yeah.
and they're actually kind of like angled differently between the lower and the upper jaw, so that
So there's
they
some
kind of
kinesis there, right?
so
Like the
they
jaws
can,
are actually
a little
flexed.
bit, yeah. And Ali Nabavizidae works a lot on that, on that kind of cranial kinesis in different ornithischians. But all right, I might need to go help with the tarps here, but teeth.
Yeah.
Their teeth kind of slice against each other like this. So hadrosaurs, they get more teeth, narrower teeth, like all packed into the same jaw. And they'll actually have multiple teeth from the same like tooth socket, basically.
Right, yeah.
Actually active at a time.
So like
they'll have
their
like, three-
cutting surface is like multiple rows of teeth in the same jawbone.
Yeah, it's like 3 teeth high.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So okay, so that's one thing. So hadrosaurs were just like chewing machines. All right. And then the other cool thing that happens is in iguanodontians, if you look at their hands, right, they've got that famous
That thumb
spike
spike,
thumb,
yeah.
which is all fused into their carpal bones, their
Yeah.
wrist bones. So like it's like in some of them, it's like one giant block, just wrist bones and thumb, and that thumb was not moving.
Oh yeah,
right?
I've shown this on the 3D print that I have back in my office. It's just part of the wrist, basically.
Yeah, and then they've got this like dainty little pinky,
Yeah.
this digit, with a whole bunch of different bones in it. So like ours has 3, I think they have 4
They
or
have
5.
5, I think.
5.
Yeah.
So that was probably pretty mobile. They could like, it's hypothesized they could like grab stuff.
That's what David Norman proposed back in like the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So maybe they could kind of grip things with that, or maybe it was just sort of this dainty digit hanging out. I don't know. But then the wild thing that happens, and we have this, there's this sort of slice where we don't know what's going on with the hands and wrists. So we just don't really have fossils of these sort of like hadrosauroid.
So there's sort of a missing link sort of thing going on, to use a stupid term.
We have the animals, but we just don't.
We don't have the
fossils
wrists
aren't complete.
and the-
We don't have their wrists, so we don't quite know what's going on there. And then you come out in hadrosaurs, and they've just gotten rid of that whole thing. They don't really have any appreciable carpal bones. They've got like some little flimsy cartilaginous discs, and that's it.
Weird.
They don't really have wrist bones, and they don't have a first. They've just gotten rid of the whole thing.
I wonder if
And
that could happen very
hadrosaurs
quickly.
then look like this. They're still walking on those same 3 weight-bearing digits, and they've still got that kind of dainty 5th digit. It's not quite as long. It's more just reduced, and they're really just kind of walking on 3 fingers, and that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Iguanodontians were doing stuff with their hands. We don't really know what.
They're so robust, and like so hadrosaur hands by contrast just look.
They're very dainty
Yeah.
in comparison.
Yeah, yeah.
They're very like long and slender. And iguanodontian hands are like big, chunky. Construction worker, paleontologist hands, right?
Yeah, there you go.
know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are kind of the 2 like big obvious differences between them if you're kind of looking at that. Is teeth and hands, but there's also a lot of other changes in the skeleton.
Cool. Thanks, Karen.
All right, I'm gonna get back to tarp.
Yeah, I gotta wrap this up so that I can help with teardown as well. So let's bring this over here. Yeah. Well, excellent.
You can reach those bungee balls.
Biggest obstacle in my hadrosaur essay. And yeah, salamander, that's tricky, right? I wonder if it's just an evolutionary change that happened really quickly, because sometimes the loss of a structure, like with birds losing most of their tailbones, it may have just been down to like 1 or 2 different genetic mutations that just really rapidly get rid of that feature. I wouldn't be shocked if that were the case, especially if if we just don't see that transition happening nice and smooth. It might have been pretty abrupt in the animals themselves. Anyway, yeah. And yeah, salamander, isn't that cool? Shouldn't be surprised, though, with as much as you know nowadays. Yeah. Anyway, and Eolambia has a thumb spike. Awesome, Jim. Huh. Eolambia is from the upper Cedar Mountain, right? Anywho, yeah, look at those clouds. I gotta get going here, because it might start raining here pretty soon, and I gotta help with teardown. So let's see if there's somebody we can raid into real quick, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up for today. So who else is live at present? Let's see. Uwo's Lab. Astro Canuck. Let's go right into Astro Canuck, shall we? Yeah. Here we go. So don't go away just yet, everybody. I think there's no underscore there. Beautiful. All right, we're going. Astro Canuck is doing some live astronomy Q&A. So if you've got questions about space science, he might be able to answer them for you. So don't go away. Let's do this raid. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm, for your questions, for your attention, your viewership. Really excited to hopefully get that bone out tomorrow. We might even do some jacketing. Yeah, should be on track to do that. And I don't know what time Jim gets here, but he'll be on stream soon too, I hope. It's going to be a good time. Anyway, you all take care of yourselves. Thank you for everything, your viewership, your questions, your financial support. And I look forward to streaming you two again tomorrow with any luck. Till then, everybody, take care. Let's go see what Astro Canuck is up to.